All right, cool. Can you tell us your name, your age, and where you're originally from?
Anthony, 23. I'm originally from Riverside. I was born in Riverside, but I've been all around.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you became in this current situation?
Uh, my dad passed away when I was really young. I have a lot of siblings and a single mom, so I got emancipated at a young age and just kind of been on my own for, since I was like 12, 13. I got emancipated at 13 or 14, so
Are you currently homeless right now?
yeah, yeah, I am.
How long have you been homeless?
Less than a year.
And can you tell us a little bit about your life before becoming homeless?
Yeah, I used to work a lot, 7 days a week. I originally lived with my girlfriend. We had an apartment. I had caught her cheating, so I'd moved out. And since then, it's kind of like, been kind of struggling. So that's kind of how it started. My addiction, stuff like that.
And when you say addiction, what kind of addiction are you talking about?
I first started on painkillers because I was in a really bad accident. I it crashed my car. So I got hooked on painkillers. I would do back then M30s. Like I would get the prescription. I'd buy scripts, and after about 5 years, I went to rehab a couple of times and got clean off of those, and then sort of not really relapsed, but I started doing fentanyl, a couple of months ago. So but I had a really bad like opioid addiction.
Addiction on
Yeah, I
opiates?
had a really really bad opioid. Yeah.
And fentanyl right now seems like it's kind of taking over the streets.
Oh yeah.
What's your take? Like, if I was to ask you about fentanyl, what's your opinion on fentanyl for anybody that's thinking about using that?
It's either like people are really scared of it and they don't want anything to do with it, or there's people who like it consumes their lives and it's all that they do.
Are you afraid that you're ever going to get like a bad batch of fentanyl or like a strong
Oh yeah.
dose?
I'm not really like a strong dose because I don't do it like I don't do it really really heavy. But a lot of stuff I heard lately has been cut, so it's a lot of bunk stuff. It's not really, I don't know what
It,
they're cutting it with, but it's not, you know.
is fentanyl pretty easy to get
Oh
if you
yeah.
were to want it? And how much does the fentanyl cost?
I mean, it depends on, it depends on who you get it from and what.
But is it a pretty cheap drug that
It,
everyone has access to right
yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah. It's cheap. I mean, a lot of the people sell it dimes and nickels. So if $5 worth, you can get, get some.
And then when you do take fentanyl, is that you smoke it?
Uh, I smoke it. Yeah, I used to like just snort it because that's just what I used to do with the opioid. But it's just how I do my drugs. I didn't like smoking off tinfoil and the smell of it. But lately, I have been.
And then for anybody that doesn't know what fentanyl looks like, what does that look like?
It could be like a rock, like a white rock, or it could be powder. It just depends. Different colors. There's pink. There's purple, yellow, white.
And then after that, how does that make you feel? Like after you ingest the fentanyl?
Relaxed.
Oh, really?
I've struggled with insomnia since I was, since as far back as I can remember. So it more or less, puts you to sleep.
Have you ever seen anybody overdose off fentanyl?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about anybody die off fentanyl?
I've seen two people, three people, people that I knew that OD,
I see that you carry Narcan in your bag. Is that for the
if
just
I
in?
see somebody, that needs it, if they're not breathing or if they're, most people, they don't, if you Narcan them and they feel like they don't need it, they get upset because it makes you really sick and, it sort of reverses the high, so
Oh,
it,
wow.
come down from that, you get sick, if you don't sleep it off.
So I guess from based on other experiences,
Mm.
if they're turning blue, is that normal or is that when you want to Narcan
That's
that
when you want to
person?
Narcan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's like a fine line, like, hey, I'm enjoying this high and I'm overdosing now.
yeah, well, if they don't, they're unresponsive is when you want Narcan.
Got it. Okay. Is there like a particular moment or experience that changed your life's path? Was it the breakup?
It was a mixture of things, but yeah, that was one of them.
That was one of them. Do you still have any like goals or dreams out here that you hold on to?
Mainly, yeah, get out of the city. I've moved around a lot, and this is probably the only city where people tend to get stuck here. You know,
And are you talking about like Pomona or are you talking about like
come on,
LA? Pomona.
come on.
So, and then you've probably seen a bunch of crazy things out here of being homeless, right? Is it
Yeah.
pretty dangerous out here?
It depends on how you know, depends on how what you do. You know, it can be really dangerous if you don't pay attention to things that you say or people who you mess with. It can be really dangerous, but you sort of mind your own business and just keep to yourself and do your own thing. And you know, I've never had I've never had issues like that where I was scared. You know, scared at night or worried about always having to wash my back, that type of stuff.
And from the moment you wake up, what does your day look like? What's like a
Um,
typical day?
I would get up, you know, have my wake up, you know, take, you know, maybe a little hit and start my day, you know, it just kind of depends on the day. I try to get at least one thing done in a day that's sort of productive, you know, so I don't like to waste my days. For a while, I didn't have a phone, so days I wouldn't even know what day it was. They would just kind of go by, you know, and
So
yeah.
you start your day with fentanyl.
Yeah, normally, yeah, because I go to sleep, that's how I get to sleep. And you know, I'd wake up and just if I my anxiety would trigger something, you know, because I'm sort of out, you know, outside sometimes. It would just be my wake up, you know, like to relax my nerves, get started, and like start thinking about what I need to do.
Have you received any help or support from others, and how has that impacted you?
Not really. I don't have support. I don't have family that I normally talk to or support me. Like I said, I've been on my own for quite a while. I have a couple of you know friends that are really
Do you have any family right now that you can call and reach out to?
you know
No.
yeah.
Okay, and if you can go back in time and offer yourself a younger version of yourself some advice, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
Um, Stay consistent, you know, because as soon as you fall off, it's a lot easier to, you know, fall off than it is to get back up. So I'll stay consistent with, you know, with your goals and what you want to accomplish.
And if anyone's watching the video, who would you, and if anyone can see the video, who would you want that to be, and what would you tell them?
Um, Maybe like the younger generation of Pomona. You know, I don't know too much. I have a little brother, that not in the city, but, you know, if he would see this video, I would, you know, tell him to not, don't go down that path, don't dabble with it, because, you know, as soon as you do, you don't realize when it's too late and you're caught in that addiction, you're caught in that sort of cycle, you know, it's really hard to get out of. It's really easy to get into, you know, after a couple of days, you realize like you're hooked, you know, and you can't do without it, you know, you withdraw.
And how are the withdrawals? Are those pretty bad?
It depends on how much you do and how long you do it. My come down was really rough. Not from fentanyl, but from M30s. So it's basically at the end of my addiction, it was fentanyl because that's what they were cutting it with. Um, and it was really rough, really, really rough. It makes you not ever want to do it again. You know, it's not worth it. The high or whatever is not worth having to deal with that come down. And eventually you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. You're gonna have to go through it.
Right. All right, cool, man. That ends the interview, and you're okay with us using this on YouTube,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
social media? Okay.
Sure.